What's going on, folks? Hope you're having a great weekend. I was up pretty early today trying to take care of a few things. I had some time off from business and I was just trying to catch up. Y'all know I like to do a lot of stuff. I had some stuff out in the yard I had to take care of, and I like that. I like doing that. It's a great hobby for me, messing around out in the yard and cultivating and all that stuff. I love doing that, and that gives me something to ease my mind and I enjoy it. I really do. But I hope your weekend is going pretty good. It's kind of raining outside, and so it's not too nice out. It's a little cool out too. I just felt it'd be good to have a chat. I hadn't checked in with you guys for a few minutes, and I'm back. So I just wanted to talk to you and see how you were. Hope you're doing fine, by the way. But I want to talk today about, and this is something that I realized, and it's something right up front in my face, and obviously I know what I'm talking about because I have been in enough situations where I have experienced this, and then I can make a comparison to other situations. Now, what am I talking about? What situations? I'm talking about going to the barbershop and getting a basic haircut, right? And I was in the barbershop the other day, getting a haircut or whatever. And, here's the thing. I bounce around from barbershop to barbershop, right? And there are millions of them, tons of them everywhere. And I'm not able to find the right barbershop that I can comfortably go in and just get a haircut, right? Now, there have been many reasons why I switched these barbershops. In some cases, it was really a matter of I didn't like the atmosphere. There's a lot of discussion that's had in the barbershop. I don't know if you folks are familiar with these discussions, but I'm sure many of you are. And there's a lot of discussions that are had in the barbershop. Particularly the barbershops that I go to. And these discussions range from politics to sports to whatever, to religion or whatever. And they all seem to, in that one waiting time of waiting, you have a whole bunch of conversations that are being had. Excuse me too, because it's early. I'm gonna get some coffee in a short, but and I have to have that coffee in the morning to get my mind going. When you folks go to work, sometimes I know that you have to have a cup of coffee on your way to work or when you get to work, and you know what I mean about the pick me up that just starts your day off. It's pretty early, and so like I said, I got up really early. But going back into what I was saying about the barbershop, these are folks who have discussions all the time, and everyone seems to be engaged in the discussion. And what happens, discussion. And what happens is that a lot of people talk about a lot of stuff, but no one really knows anything for real. And I just discovered that. That's one of the problems I have. Like, people will say things and they will not have factual basis to what they're saying. It could be about politics. It could be about some kind of reform or policy or something that they just pulled out of their ass. And they'll speak on it with authority as if they know what they're talking about, and they don't. And I have these fights, so I have to keep switching barbershops because obviously I don't want to piss the barber off before I get a haircut about my political beliefs or something like that. And that's a shame it has to be like that, but that's what I mean. A lot of these people aren't logical. The second thing I want to talk about why I keep switching barbershops is basically the service that I'm providing in these barbershops. Now, the barber is accommodating in most cases. You ask him for a cut and he gives you the cut that you want. But I'm finding lately as I go to these different barbershops that some of these second generation, third generation barbers don't have the business acumen that the older barbers have and the veterans have. Because see, here's the thing. You young guys, you may have a lot of clientele. You have a lot of your homeboys or whatever you want to call them that that know that you cut hair, and they'll come by and you'll have those steady stream of customers. But I realized that many of you, when you cut hair, you only do it to get the money. And so yeah, that's what you're doing it for, right? But what I'm saying is a haircut is really serious. It's just like cosmetology. It is part of cosmetology. And just think about when women go get their hair done or something. If something is one strand of hair off, then it's going to be a problem. It's not going to look right. So Barbers have to put that time into giving you a haircut and being professional. And so what I mean by that is you could ask for a specific type of haircut, and what the barber would do, these third generation younger barbers, they will rush you out of the chair. In other words, they'll cut you the way they want, not to your specifications, but to how they feel you should be cut, so they can hurry up and get to the next person, and next person, right? So I find myself jumping around from barbershop to barbershop because I can't get someone to cut my hair the way I want. I may want it very low. This is my preference. This may be what I like. And because a lot of these young guys today, they wear, they keep their hair in styles that, you know, they may have a lot of hair on their head, or they have all these buzz cuts, or these mohawks, or whatever you want to call it, you know, to keep up with the fad, you know. And I'm traditional, I'm conservative, so I like to just get a basic cut, and that's what I like. And really, you would think something like that would be very simple to get, but obviously it's not as easy as I think, right? It's not as easy as I think, because I couldn't hear myself. But you know, obviously it's not as easy as I think, because when I'm asking for these things, which is something basic, you would think if you asked the barber, hey, can you just cut everything off? You would think that the barber would have the ability to understand what you want, right? And then just give you and deliver what you're asking for, which is just shave everything off. You got a pair of clippers in there that have a low blade on them, and you can just take it all off. And it should be very easy. It should be easier to do than doing some kind of design, which you do a lot of those too, where you carve and shit in people's head and all of that stuff. And that's young people stuff. That's what I'm talking about, you know. And so you ask for this cut to be low, and the guy somehow cuts your hair, but you still have like 3 inches of hair on your fucking scalp. So I'm trying to understand what their perception of low is. But then again, they're basing it on the fact that if you have a mohawk, you obviously have a lot of hair on your head, and they're just skimming the sides, and you have this big old Spartan thing on your head, on your skull, right? And so, you know, they may have a misunderstanding about what a low cut is for certain people, and that's a problem. And then, you know, they spray you up with the sheen or whatever, and then they put the mirror in your face, and somehow in those moments, and that's where you always get got, because somehow in those moments, it seems that you got the cut you wanted. It looks right, you know, but then, you know, you get home or something, the next day you have a full head of hair. So you're like, did I get a haircut yesterday? Now, another time I was in the barbershop, and I'll join this story with that one, because it's all in the same context. You know, for my first time in my life, and not because I wouldn't want it, but I just never had it in candidates, but I had a female barber cut my hair. Now, I didn't question her on any level. I got in the chair, and she cut my hair. And the whole time she was cutting my hair, she was pushing up really, really close to me. Like her crotch was really, really close, right? And it was kind of uncomfortable because, see, I told y'all, I'm not a low-grade guy, right? And I'm not even interested in the barber. I'm just trying to get a fucking haircut. So I don't want your fucking rotten crotch on me, right? But she had her crotch pushed up against me. And, you know, and that kind of threw me off. And the whole time I was getting my hair cut, I kept thinking about that. I couldn't think about anything else. And she was giving me this conversation, asking me about my life and just different things, right? What I do for a living, just different things. And, you know, not until the cut was over, because here's the thing. She cut my hair, and it looked just like I told you in the previous story. You know, it looked like she cut my hair the way I wanted it to be. But then once I got home or got somewhere else, I looked and I noticed that she hadn't really cut anything off. So then I realized it wasn't about me. See, I'm not as sexy as I think. It wasn't really about me. It was about the fact that she put her crotch up to me to divert me, to throw me off from her not really cutting my hair. And she was correct. She was very intelligent by doing that, because I didn't pay attention to what she was doing. Okay? And so I didn't get the service I wanted. Now, let me bring this all into, you know, what I really want to talk about, the professionalism of the old school barbers. Now, I discovered a barber who's about, and I'm serious, folks, he's about 87 to 93. He's in that range. He's that old, okay? This guy will literally cut your hair so well that you like, damn, you want to pay him extra, okay? That's how great he can cut hair. But he also pulls out all the stops, right? And people come to this guy because you have a lot of older guys that come to him. They've been coming to him since the fucking 50s or something. You know, you see newspaper clippings all over the wall from his, you know, from him getting highlighted in the newspaper back in the 60s or the 50s or something when he was young. And, you know, whatever, a staple in community type articles. This is a barber who's been in the community for years and everybody knows him. And I'm not going to name this guy, but he's a great guy. He's a great old barber. I think he pastors a church, but anyway, he's a great barber. And he has hours that I've never seen before. When have you gone to a barbershop in modern times and been able to get a haircut at like 6 o'clock in the morning? Like, that's fucking insane. Because these new scale barbers, they will fucking show up when they feel like it. They'll show up at noon and have like 7 people, 10 people sitting in there waiting for them who've been in there for a couple of hours because they feel like getting out. They take their customers for granted, unprofessional. And that's what I'm saying, you know. This barber cuts your hair so well that you're like, damn, you want to give him extra money, and then also he'll lean you back in the chair. You have to stop this guy because he'll pull out that old razor, you know, that, you know, back in the day they used to slit hogs with, you know, back on the farm or something. You know, those switchblade razors you flip out. He would flip out one of those and go to shave your neck or something and would be really dead serious about giving you that really sharp cut or roundup. Right? And you would have to stop them. Now, I break out a lot when I get really, with straight razors, really sharp straight razors on my skin breaks me out. And it may show in some of the videos when I get shaved or something like that. But my thing is that, so I have to stop this guy. That's how well he does it. And you know what? He doesn't even charge as much as the other barbers I've been to. I've been to about 7 barbers, honestly. And this guy charges less than all of them. He charges like his goddamn 1978. And I'm being serious. He really does charge like that. And does a fucking awesome job. You know, very courteous, greeting you and everything. I've gone in barbershops, in these new scale barbershops. Motherfuckers, you walk in the door, they're cutting hair. This is a business. They'll look at you and won't say anything to you. And then you're standing there, we're doing a stare off or something. Do you want to cut? Can you cut me? You know, both of us are like going like that back and forth. Who's on first base, who's on second type shit, right? And we're standing there, so you eventually end up leaving out because none of the barbers in there have come up to you because they don't have the IQ to understand that this is a business, and if they're trying to grow their business and become barbers who make a lot of money at it, because anyone who cares about their appearance is going to come to a barbershop, right? And so they're going to make their money. It's going to come to them. But that's why I think that they fall short, because they take that for granted because people always need haircuts. But the thing y'all don't understand is, make sure I don't have stuff on my face. The thing that y'all don't understand is that I can go to another barber, and that's why, you know, I've gone through about maybe 7 of them so far, and this is the 8th person, and I think I'm sticking with this guy. And I pray that he lives, you know, for at least another 10 years or something, or someone in that barbershop can be transitioned to do the great quality service that he does, because it's awesome. And I'm afraid he's really that old. You know, sometimes you'll come in there, he'll be in the chair nodding asleep because he's an old guy. He's really like, you know, he's past 85. So he's a really old guy, but he does a great job. Shout out to you, Mr. Barber. I'm not going to name your name, but you're a great guy, and I salute you. Great haircuts. You know, but then, since we're talking about professionalism, let me go into another thing that irks me, that makes me leave and jump from barbershops. This attitude of these people will come regardless. And because they do, some of you stupid barbers don't have the intelligence to realize you're in this to make money. And what you do, and I've had this happen, like I was just saying a few minutes ago, these people will literally, in the middle of having customers in the barbershop and maybe getting somebody out, maybe someone could be in the chair getting their hair cut, and they'll jump out repeatedly. They'll stop and run back and forth outside to tend to business, or they could be selling drugs. They could be doing anything, right? But they're doing things other than cutting your fucking hair. So you're sitting in the chair for like a fucking hour waiting on this guy. He's jumping and taking phone calls and eating lunch and just foolishness. So by the time this guy feels like he wants to cut your hair, you're ready to go down the fucking street to another barber who has more professionalism. Because that's what it comes down to, you know? You don't have to value me as a customer, right? But I will find someone who values me as a customer when I'm getting a haircut. And I hate that shit. You guys need to get more professional, right? Grow up. You know, if you can't tend to your business, then don't tend to it at all, right? So, you know, you got people sitting in there, and then you show up, and then, you know, you have the hairdresser in there, and she's doing someone's hair or something, and then you look at her and you say, hey, is the barber in today? And she said, oh yeah, he'll be right back, because she's trying to cover for him, because she knows she's been there the whole time since they opened, right? But she knows he hasn't been there for a couple of hours. So people are sitting there, and as soon as she says that, someone said, well, that's what he told me when I called him about 2 hours ago. So you're gonna sit in the chair for 2 hours? Man, once I heard that, I had to do a U-turn and go right back out the door, because see, let me tell you something. I know my worth as far as what I'm going to spend as a customer, and I'm not going to let some low-grade guy in their mind dictate to me when they're going to cut my hair because they think that they're the best barber in the world, when there are like fucking literally thousands of barbers you can locate, right? And I'll do that, you know. And like I said, this older guy is always there, you know, crack of dawn, he's there waiting to do service, and I really appreciate that. You guys suck at that. You're not as good as this guy, right? You'll never have the quality service because you know they don't make them like they used to. Y'all heard that phrasing, you know. They don't. They really don't, you know. And I think that's just a poor excuse of a professional person in a shop with a barber's license, right? You really are. You know, and there are upscale barbers and businesses who do these things every day, and they have a huge clientele list, and they make lots of money every day. Even they even bring in new customers every day because they're able to grab it, right? And that's what I'm saying. A lot of you folks, I've talked about this in the past. You guys know. Go back and look at my videos. I've talked about this, you know. But it's unprofessional, you know. And I long for barbers everywhere to be like that, because hey, maybe this guy may pass on, Lord forbid, or maybe he won't be there that day. Maybe he'll be out or be sick or something, and I'll have to go to some other alternate location. And I would just love to have a barber that's really gonna be committed to giving me the cut I want, right? I'm not asking you to take 3 hours to cut my hair. I'm not asking you to do that. I'm not gonna have you doing swirly designs and shit and all this stuff. And by the way, folks, I know you like stuff like that, but I just want you to know, when you get older in life, those things will come back and haunt you. So when you start carving all this shit in your head, one day your hair will get low in that area where you kept doing that, and you'll see, and then you'll just be in a you know, you'll be like, damn, I shouldn't have made that decision back in the day. So I'm just trying to give y'all a tip about that, you know. But really, you know, being professional is a good thing. And it makes you a lot of money. And y'all, you know, many of you folks, you all do not grab that, and you suffer for it, right? And if you're not doing as well as you could in life as far as with these endeavors and these ventures, then that's the reason why, because you're not even smart enough to know why you're losing, right? You know, I'm not going to, you know, like I said, you know, I'm going to try to take care of some other stuff, you know, today, and, you know, get that stuff going. And I think I need to stop by the hardware store and get a few things, because I need to work on that stuff. And I love having this time to do that. But it's also great to talk to you folks. It's always also good, to like, share, and subscribe to my videos. And I really appreciate that. You know, when you're not professional, that is bad behavior, if you didn't know, right? And I love bad behavior, guys. I love it, right? I just don't love it when I'm trying to get a haircut and it affects my appearance, right? Or my time, which is more important than anything, because time is money, and that's everything. And sometimes, in some cases, money is survival. So, you know, I'm gonna let you guys get on in your day, and I hope you have a great day. You know what I'm saying? Because my day is awesome. The sun isn't out, but that's all right though. I'm still gonna go out here and knock this out. It won't take long today, and then I'm just gonna fucking relax and kick back, right? And watch some TV, because I haven't done that in a long time, right? So you guys have a good day, but we'll talk soon. Remember, like, share, and subscribe to my videos. I love bad behavior. Take care.